Hi David, we're sat in the operating theatre at Murrayfield Hospital on the Wirral, which is where you do your bariatric surgery. You founded Gravitas in 2006. Why did you do that?
I think the reason I founded Gravitas was because I think there was a real need in the UK at the time for a really specialist bariatric surgical service. So there were a lot of people out there who were offering a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but there was nobody really who was trying to set the standard of a very high quality, professionally run, ethically run bariatric surgical service. I think, in a general surgical environment, bariatric type patients, I think, often suffered, and I wanted to create a unit that would sort of protect those patients, be staffed by people who understood their special needs and were sympathetic to them and treated them with the respect that they deserved. And I thought there was an opportunity for us to specialise in this one particular area and really try and do it as well as it could be done.
Patients who might be considering bariatric surgery are faced with a large number of choices, procedures and so on. How would you give an overview of what's available?
I think one of the secrets of the success we've had with Gravitas in terms of the really good outcomes that we've managed to achieve is we've taken this principle from the outset of trying to match the right patient with the right operation, and I think that's absolutely crucial. So for example, our gastric band results we've just analysed are the best that have been published in the United Kingdom. They're world-beating results. But I think that's because we don't offer the gastric band to everybody. We realise there are some people who are going to do really well with it, and there are other people who actually would be better off with a different kind of procedure. So I think it is vital that any patient who comes for bariatric surgery is given a wide choice of procedures. There are at least 4 or 5 different standard choices out there that people can go for, and they need to go and see somebody who's able to recognise which operation is going to suit them best and go for that particular procedure.
When people do come to Gravitas, why do they come to Gravitas, and are they pleased that they did?
The feedback we get is that people often do a lot of shopping around us. People, they're very aware there's a choice out there in the UK for bariatric surgery provider, and I think people want to go to an organisation that they feel safe with. I think people do want value for money as well, and I think Gravitas offers all of those things. People recognise our professionalism. We were founded by doctors and we're led by doctors with patients' interests at heart, and people see that and they like the professionalism and they like to come to us for that. They know that we produce a lot of research in terms of being very active in producing information that patients can use and that other professionals can use that demonstrates the quality of the service we offer. But people are wise to the fact that they also want a good bargain in terms of price. They don't want to go for a very, very expensive service when they could get something done more cheaply, and Gravitas have responded to that, and our pricing for private bariatric surgery is highly competitive with all other UK providers.
So if I was a patient about to make a decision about going forward with bariatric surgery, how would you advise me to choose my provider?
I think obviously you want to go to a provider who's got a lot of experience, who's done a large number of all of the procedures that are available. So you've got a real choice, and you know that whatever choice you pick, you're going to have a surgeon who's really experienced in doing that. You also need to look at the team behind the surgeon. I think that's just really important. And I think if there's one thing that patients consistently get wrong, if you like, when they're trying to choose a provider, maybe regret later, it is when they go for the price perhaps first or the operation they think they want, but they never ask the right questions about things like the follow-up. And we know as bariatric surgeons, as a sort of inside knowledge, if you like, that follow-up is as important, if not more so, than the actual operation itself. The operation itself is very straightforward. We have, it's rather like a pilot flying an aeroplane. There are certain set steps and procedures we go through to make it safe, to make it run very smoothly, very routinely every time. We don't like surprises, and that's the way the surgery goes. And because of that, it's generally speaking extremely straightforward. The difference is often what happens afterwards, because if you have a gastric band inserted and you don't get good follow-up, or you don't have access, for example, to your surgeon, the bariatric surgeon, who's able to pick up problems quickly and deal with them if they develop, it's likely you're either going to run into trouble or you're going to get a poor outcome. And Gravitas, particularly with the gastric band, have looked at this, and our results in terms of weight loss after gastric banding are absolutely second to none. And this is largely down to the very careful, very intensive follow-up and support we give the patients afterwards. Too many people are just, in my opinion, left to cope with it themselves and are not given that really proper, professional, intensive follow-up.